Have you ever had that gut feeling, that little voice in your head telling you something's not right, but you ignored it? Or maybe your friends, the people who know you best, tried to warn you about someone, but you were just too blinded by love to see it. Today's story is about a man named Alex, who found himself in that exact situation. His friends saw the red flags waving high, but he didn't listen, until it was far, far too late. This is a story about love, betrayal, and the painful price of ignoring the truth. Alex was what you'd call a genuinely good guy. He was hardworking, loyal to a fault, and had a heart of gold. He and his group of friends, Mark, David, and Sam, had been inseparable since college. They were more like brothers than friends, sharing everything from career advice to a cold beer on a Friday night. So when Alex met Clara, everyone was thrilled for him. At first, anyway. Clara was magnetic. She was beautiful, witty, and had a way of making you feel like you were the only person in the room. When she walked in, all eyes were on her. Alex was instantly smitten. He fell hard and fast. In his eyes, she was perfect. They went on a whirlwind of dates, and within 6 months, they were engaged. Alex was on cloud 9. He couldn't stop talking about her, about their future, about how lucky he was. But his friends weren't so sure. They saw things Alex didn't, or rather, chose not to see. It started with small things. Clara would be a little too flirty with waiters or other men when they were out. She'd always forget her wallet, leaving Alex to pick up the tab for her and her friends. She had a habit of making little digs at Alex in front of others, disguised as jokes. "Oh, Alex, you're so predictable," she'd say with a laugh, but the sting was there. Mark, being the most direct of the group, was the first to speak up. "Alex, man," he started one evening while they were shooting some hoops. "Are you sure about Clara? I don't know. Something feels off." Alex just laughed it off. "You're just jealous because she's amazing. Don't worry, she's just very outgoing. That's one of the things I love about her." A few weeks later, David tried a different approach. He'd noticed Clara constantly on her phone, smiling at texts, but quickly hiding the screen whenever Alex came near. "Hey, I don't want to overstep," David said gently, "but I've noticed Clara seems a bit secretive with her phone. Have you talked to her about it?" Alex got defensive. "She has a right to her privacy, David. You guys are seeing ghosts. She's a social person. She has lots of friends. I trust her completely." The final attempt came from Sam, the quietest of the bunch. He'd overheard a phone conversation of Clara S., where she was complaining about Alex to someone, calling him boring and too nice. Sam pulled Alex aside at a barbecue. "Listen, I heard something. I think Clara might not be as happy as you think she is. She was saying some pretty hurtful things." But by then, Alex had built a wall around his relationship. He saw his friends' concerns not as warnings, but as attacks. "You know what? I'm tired of this," he snapped. "You're supposed to be my friends. You should be happy for me. If you can't support my relationship with Clara, then maybe we need some space." The words hung heavy in the air. A rift formed between Alex and his lifelong friends. He dove deeper into his bubble with Clara, convinced they were all just jealous of his happiness. The wedding went ahead as planned. It was a beautiful ceremony, but his friends stood at the back, a sense of dread hanging over them. The first year of marriage was, from the outside, perfect. Alex worked hard at his architecture firm, providing a beautiful home and a comfortable life for them. Clara, who had quit her job shortly after the wedding, filled her days with shopping, lunches, and gym sessions. Alex, wanting to believe he had made the right choice, ignored the growing distance between them. She was often out late with the girls, and her phone was now permanently attached to her hand, guarded like a fortress. The cracks started to show in ways even Alex couldn't ignore. He came home early from a business trip one day, planning to surprise her. He walked in to find the house empty, but he heard the shower running upstairs. He smiled, thinking of a romantic reunion. He called her name as he walked up the stairs. The shower shut off abruptly. "Alex, you're home early," Clara called out, her voice laced with a strange panic. When she came out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel, she seemed flustered. "I wasn't expecting you. I was just cleaning up." But Alex's eyes fell on 2 wine glasses on the bedside table, and the distinct smell of a man's cologne lingering in the air. "Who was here, Clara?" he asked, his voice low and steady, though his heart was pounding. No one. Don't be ridiculous, she scoffed, trying to laugh it off. You're imagining things. You must be tired from your trip. He wanted to believe her. Oh, how he wanted to. He let it go, but the seed of doubt planted by his friends so long ago finally began to sprout. He started paying closer attention. He noticed charges on their credit card for fancy dinners. At times she claimed to be at the gym. He found a receipt for a men's watch tucked away in her car's glove compartment. It wasn't a gift for him. The final crushing blow came from an anonymous email. It was simple, brutal, and to the point. It contained a single attachment. A photo. It was of Clara, kissing another man. They were on a balcony that looked suspiciously like the one at a beach resort they had supposedly visited with her girlfriends a month prior. The man in the photo was her personal trainer. The world went silent for Alex. The air was sucked out of his lungs. Every warning from his friends, every little lie, every weird incident, it all came crashing down on him at once. He felt a profound, gut-wrenching shame. They had been right. They had tried to save him from this very moment, and he had pushed them away. He confronted Clara that night, the photo displayed on his laptop screen. There was no escape this time. The color drained from her face. At first, she tried to lie, to manipulate, to turn it back on him. You're spying on me? You don't trust me. But the evidence was undeniable. Finally, the truth came out. It hadn't been just the trainer. There were others. Her life, their life, was a complete fabrication built on a foundation of his hard work and her deceit. The divorce was messy and painful. Clara fought for everything, showing a side of herself that was even colder and more calculating than he could have imagined. In the end, Alex was left with a broken heart, a fractured sense of self, and an empty house filled with memories that were now all tainted. He was at his lowest point when his phone rang. It was Mark. Hey, he said simply. We heard what happened. We're on our way over. They didn't say, I told you so. They didn't lecture him, they just showed up, Mark, David, and Sam. They walked into his empty house, brought pizza and beer, and just sat with him in his silence. They let him talk when he was ready, let him cry, let him rage. They reminded him of who he was before Clara, the good man they had always known. It was a long road back for Alex. Healing from that kind of betrayal isn't something that happens overnight. But with the unwavering support of his true friends, he started to piece his life back together. He learned a hard lesson about trust, about love, and about listening to the people who genuinely have your back. Sometimes, love can be blind, but true friendship always sees clearly. This story is a powerful reminder to pay attention to those red flags, and to cherish the friends who are brave enough to point them out, even when it's the last thing you want to hear.